what would you say, right? For both of you actually, because y'all both done it.
Mm.
What would y'all say? What was the like? If you can point the exact thing, what was it that made y'all say, "All right, nigga," like? Because sometimes we always say like, "Yo, I need therapy." Like, you hear people joke around and say that, or like, "Oh, I need therapy," but this and the third. What was it for y'all that made y'all actually be like, "All right, nigga, take your ass to go see somebody"? Like, what was it for y'all?
Yo, for me, it wasn't even like a self-realization, like, yo, I gotta go. It was literally just like, my grades started slipping. So I was about to be on academic probation. So the only way that I could like logically still stay in school, well, not logically. So the only way they would let me stay in school is if I could prove that like, yo, something wrong with me. So
Nigga
like,
treated it like court.
no, honestly,
Niggas did the community service.
yo, honestly,
So you don't get
That's
anybody,
time funny. I'm sorry.
yeah, anybody that knows me know I don't like asking for help. I don't like asking for shit.
At all,
Honestly.
bruh. Yeah,
Like, even if somebody offer me shit, like, it's not a shot at nobody, but there's mad people like my birthday passes, like, yo, I'm sorry I missed this, that, and the third. I'll make it up to you. I'm gonna take you out this day. All right, I said, cool, like I'm with it. We a week passed. Mad people didn't hit me up to do what they said they was gonna do, and I'm never gonna hit them again. Cause I just don't like, you know what I mean? I don't like asking for shit. So it was kind of just a situation where like I was kind of forced to go, which I thank God that I actually was forced to go. Because it helped me deal with a lot of shit. Not just like the present shit that I was dealing with at the time, but it helped me deal with a lot of shit that like
That you was going through.
I didn't even know that I was still letting affect my present.
So in that regard, goddamn hip. So I would have to ask then. It's kind of wild me asking the question. Right? Damn, you gonna have to tell me because I can't see.
That's good. That's good.
My
Gang.
depth is
That's good. That's good. That's good.
This nigga is different, fam.
Don't make me look like an alky on camera. Chill.
Nah, niggas is crazy.
Tristan, let me tell you something. All right, you know what?
So we talk about it in your next
what triggered you to
go.
go to therapy? Well, not trigger that shit. That's the wrong word. What made you decide finally I gotta go to therapy? Because that's not a
it's not a like this.
That's not lightness, and also it's not an easy thing to actually really be doing. Like, I'm gonna go to therapy. Some people, like Dom said, joke about it, talk about it all the time, but never do. So.
This might push me to go, so I'm listening.
I don't know about that one.
So in my case, beginning this year.
Oh, you just started?
No, yeah, I started in February.
Gotcha.
But what pushed me to go beginning this 2022 started off on a high note. I don't know what it is, but like maybe the second week of January, it's like a switch just happened, and it was like, oh yeah, I'm fucking Kev up every day. life said,
It'll do it.
I'm kicking your ass every day.
Haymakers.
Literally.
If do be doing
Tyson.
that.
So
Yeah.
that happened, and then I started going through something called a financial depression, which I never knew was true until like I spoke to people about it. That was something too. And then I was going through something with my partner at the time. That happened, and it was just one random day. I was on Instagram, and an old friend from high school just like DM'd me, and we were just talking, and out the blue, she just said like, yo, bro, you remember all the shit that we used to talk about in high school? Like I was going through and I was dealing with. I used to always say I was never going to therapy. You know I did it? She said that. We had a whole conversation. And I just remembered like this young lady like crying on the phone to me while I was away in college, and then telling me stuff, but I was just like, damn, you're going through all that. Like, I'm not even dead to be like, yo, bro, you going through something? Yo, get dressed. Let's just go walk around the city, because she lived in the city. Or like, yo, let's just go get some food, like to help you feel better type shit.
Word.
So she just did it. She did it, and after that conversation, she brought it back on me. She was like, yo, Kev, you always said you wanted to do it. What the hell is stopping you? I literally sat down on the phone, looking at the message, confused, like, what's stopping me? I have insurance.
And you felt like
money.
You felt like at the time you really like at that point you really needed it.
Yeah, with everything that was going on, it's just like it was a sign. That exact same question. What's stopping you? We stopped talking that night. It was like 2:00 in the morning. I kid y'all not. I'm scrolling on my phone on Google. I type in therapist near me, and mad therapists popped up. I literally sent an email out to 4 different companies. The first one that hit me back because they accepted my insurance. 2 days later, I had an initiation code. I spoke to the rep. She asked me why I wanted to come. She's like, "Yo, I'm glad you made that step. Like, I'm glad you realized." And shout out to your friend for you know pushing you. And we had a conversation. She said, "Would you prefer, if that even matters?" I'm like, preferably a black person. You know, I don't discriminate, but I wanted a black person.
They'll understand you trying the most.
Yeah, I wanted a beautiful black woman, but
Oh, you was on some Bad Boys too shit.
Nah,
You trying
not-
to fuck
hey,
your therapist.
He didn't even care
You
about
was
the
trying to fuck your
therapy.
See?
nigga. We
Fucking
gonna
my-
keep it real. You was
No.
trying to fuck, nigga.
no, if you want, I'm completely honest with y'all.
He was like, I want to get some help, but it'd be nice to look at somebody and
You know
look
what I'm saying?
good. Like,
You said,
He said,
help
"You
me,
gonna help
you
me
know?
take
You know
my
what I'm saying?
mind off what I'm really thinking."
No, I
You know,
kid y'all not.
you gonna lay on the couch and she gonna be laying on you, nigga.
The real reason why I wanted a woman as my therapist was because of The Sopranos. I don't know if y'all watched Sopranos.
Yeah.
Tony always went.
Yeah.
Woofoo.
Tony's therapist was a woman. For some reason, I was just like, yo, and that's one of my favorite shows. I rewatched Sopranos like twice.
That I do know about you.
I'll be real with you though. You have a point. Having a woman counterpart when it comes to listening is actually ideal. Like if you look at some artists, some artists have woman managers. You know what I'm saying, as opposed to male managers, because the different perspective hits in a different way. So it's kind of like, all right,
Yeah, so I said
it's lucrative.
preferably black or woman, but at the time there wasn't none available. So they gave me a black man. Hey, I don't discriminate.
yeah.
Listen, at first I was like, this is just me being a guy. Damn, I'm about to be mad vulnerable to another nigga. He about to look at me crazy. But in reality, this shit been dope. Like, I've been getting all the help I never knew I needed. So
Yeah, nah, that's fair. I fuck with that.
If I could ask, what was a wall you had to face while being in your therapy session? You don't have to, if you don't want to, you don't have to explain it. But like, what was like a wall?
I was gonna say the same thing for you, Lex.
Like a breakthrough for y'all, like that was like, yo, like damn.
Yeah, like it was like that one thing that it was like touching on. It was like, oof.
Mm-hmm.
All right, like what was it for y'all?
Niggas
doing Spider-Man.
I ain't gonna
Wait,
lie.
hold on, real quick. Wolf, you ever went to therapy?
No, never.
Okay, cool. Just okay, cool. You know what I'm saying?
No, I want to though.
This nigga want help and shit.
Same shit,
We
bro.
all need help.
Same.
I need no goddamn help.
I know after this, I'll share it after. Go ahead.
for me was, at one point, it was my over-reliance on my faith.
Okay. God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, as y'all know, I grew up in the church, junior choir, all that good stuff.
He's the only nigga. Like I knew church songs, but he'd say some church songs. Man, how the fuck do you know that? Like I
I was there with it. But
yeah, that shit used to throw me off.
Nigga
Yeah,
was
it
on
is.
Sister Act 2.
I wasn't like that. I wasn't like that.
Nah, he knows mad church songs, bro. Like,
Kudos to you.
fuck, you know that? My fault.
Said Jesus
But
love you.
the over-reliance on the religion, because, you in the household I was raised in, you kind of just, God is everything, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If something bad happened, my grandma would be like, ain't nothing but the devil trying to get you. Something good happened, like, oh, you gotta praise God, you gotta thank God. Like, both those things can be true to a sense, but there's some times where, like, there is no magic fix, you know what I mean? Just praying isn't really gonna fix everything.
Yeah,
It's
be
gonna help
action
you. It's
minded.
gonna, like, I think at its core, religion helps people because it gives them something to believe in, something positive. So in that sense, yeah. But there's shit that you got to do, the nitty gritty, that you got to take care of here.
There
I was
we go.
watching a clip from TD Jakes the other day, and it's crazy that the shit came on like last night actually. He said, God in all his years has never made a table.
He made a tree.
He made
that
a
was
tree.
it.
He-
I saw that.
I remember
I saw that 2 hours ago. I
made a
was about to
tree.
send it to you, but see, I guess I ain't have
and
it.
he left us to figure everything else out.
There you go. That's the
But
only
from
thing
that
ever
tree that
made.
he made, we made tables, houses, walls, everything.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it was kind of this I hit a wall because I guess the guy I was speaking to, it was also a man, but he was Hispanic. Sorry, Latino. So he was speaking to me. He was just like, at a point, he was also a man of faith, but he's like, at a point, God isn't just gonna fix everything for you. He's gonna give you the tools and direct you in whichever path that you got to go through to get past what you need to get past. Yeah. So for me, it was literally whatever grades that I was trying to save, whatever my schooling, whatever. I hit a wall and I had to show up to therapy. Shit that I was fighting for mad long, and now I gotta actually work to get through things. It's not just like getting on my knees every night and hoping I wake up and everything's fine, or hoping a week from now everything's fine. I really have to put in the work. So I have to figure out the root of my sadness. It's not just the deaths that I had to deal with that year. It's shit that happened when I was younger, and I kind of just like, oh, well, I was sad that this person died, but death only happens to old people. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like the narrative that I had to live with, because even though you live in the hood, shit happens, but I wasn't really active and present in my community. So people my age, for one, I didn't hang out with many people that lived around me. So people that was, that was passing, God bless them, rest their soul, I didn't know them like that. So you kind of get in this little bubble of this shit doesn't happen to me till shit actually happened to me.
To you.
It got hot. It got hot.
I put the napkins over there.
It got hot. It got hot.
But yeah, I had to kind of, so when shit actually happened to me, shit started like breaking down on the walls, whatever. Now I'm trying to figure out like, yo, like life is real. Like I knew life was real, but like I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah. I hit that part.
Wow.
I hit that part now in my life. Yeah, I hit that part of my life now, but I'll share after. Like,
Run the question back one time.
what was the point in your therapy that it was like that huge hurdle to get over? Like, what was it that you was like that they was bringing up that was like the toughest thing for you?
I'm saying, man.
Boy.
I'm not even gonna lie. We still at a hurdle right now. And that hurdle is I'm no longer angry, so I can speak about it. The relationship between me and my pops. So that's the hurdle that we at right now.
What would you say is the hurdle for you about? I mean, I know we spoke about it a little bit, but I want to
You grew
hear
up with your pops in the home?
Nah. Me, my mom, my sister. The hurdle is the trauma he caused. Like the lies that he kept telling me as a kid. And even the lies he started telling like other family members about shit that my mom never did. And it's just like as I got older, 'cause it's funny that we just spoke about this in therapy. Like as I got older, I started like asking around, starting to get some information, and it was just like, yo, bro, you're sick. Your mother is sick. Your sister is sick. I don't want no parts with y'all, cause it's crazy. Like, but like talking to you and talking to Joseph, it's just like y'all spoke to y'all pops, and it's just like, damn.
Yeah.
I mentioned that in therapy today too, because you and I spoke about it a few nights ago, and it's just like, that's dope, because I know your situation, like I said.
Yeah, that was one of the toughest conversations I had in my life.
Trust me. And my therapist was just like, I know you want to talk to him, but it's just like, you're still going through things and healing through some of the things, and finding things out on your own, and also finding you. So the last thing he says is like, yo, there's no rush. Like, don't rush
Trying to get to that answer.
to get to that answer. You got to build yourself up first, and then once you're comfortable within yourself and with, I guess you could say, like, your emotions and stuff like that, then like, I have the conversation with your pops.
I would say with that, right? Wolf be potting now. So I would say with that, right, to that point, the building yourself up. Cause y'all know me. I used to always have a running joke like, oh, you know what I'm saying, the pop strokes.
I was there with you.
You know what I'm saying? It was always, like y'all always.
We was together.
You know
I would
what I'm saying?
I would like y'all to know, because I'm the oddball out in this shit. After one started and the others kept going. You know what I'm saying? Say I ain't have it. What I tell you?
It's empty, stupid.
Don't.
It's empty.
Remember what I said?
I
I ain't
remember
paying for
specifically there was one day on the window you wrote www.findmydad.com.
Yeah, like
Bro, I need y'all to understand, bro. It'd be like say one dude while yo, I have my dad. What you want me to say? Whoa, wait a minute. And then yo, bro. And then the next thing you know,
hold on.
shit, he right though. Like,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then here come Leon through the door. Who said they ain't have a dad?
That is true.
What are we talking about?
and like,
I mean,
but where it stemmed from is because like your therapist said, it's building yourself to get to a point. Like once I got to a point that Joker, like the shit hurt, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Because like you, not having pops around, and me, I've been playing sports since I was young. So, you know, that's like a very testosterone sport. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of pops is at the game. Parents is coaching them. So for me as a kid, and I'm 5, and I'm actually good at this shit. So it's like, damn, I'm good at this sport. I heard you used to play in this sport. And I played many times in South Carolina. And it's like, I know you weren't in prison at the time. So it's like, I know you could pop out to any of the games. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was doing that shit and hearing my mom talk about it. And then, like, the one thing I give my mom, like, at first, she never, like you kind of, she never really pinned me against him. She never told me exactly what happened, but she never pinned me, like, against him. Like, oh, he did X, Y, and Z. I mean, she may say little things like, well, I got to do all this shit by myself because your pops ain't want to be here type shit. But when you hear that, you kind of build a little resentment towards him. Like, that's true.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my mother has to be superwoman. She got to be mom and dad for me and my sister because my sister pop's not around. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I had to get to a point, and it was just got to a point where, like, that problem was starting to come into certain other relationships that I had, like friends, meeting people. Like, it was kind of like building that idea of, you might be around now, but you might just leave my life. You know what I mean? Like, that, again, no, for no reason why. And it wasn't really because I was saying something you did. It was just because a person, like, I always tell people, right?
No way.
Always tell people, the first real death I ever had in my life is the death of my father. Because when I was younger, it got to a point where I gave up so much on that connection that, like...
You was in my therapy session today?
Nah.
On the wall.
Kev gave me that look like, this nigga, bro. This nigga said some shit I just said. I'm looking at him like,
shit, though, like, it's like, that was the first real death that I ever really experienced, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like, all right, I think it was when I was 13, I wrote a letter to him, like a 4-page letter type shit. And once I wrote the letter, it was like, all right, I wrote everything how I felt about it, and then I burnt it because I knew he would never read it, right? So once I burnt it, it was kind of like that was it. It was me releasing the whole situation. And I did that, then the jokes started coming, and then it got to a point where I found out I had a little sister type shit. Once I found out I had a little sister, it was like, and I knew he was the father, it was kind of like, you bringing another... I could have that energy.
yo, that moment,
I could have that energy, but I'm like, you know what? I'm at a point in my life where I'm grown now. The only way I'm gonna face this head on and deal with and alleviate all these problems I have in other relationships if I have this conversation with you. So I just when I first saw him, it was that embrace, like, damn, nigga, like you a person, like, you know what I'm saying?
You a real tangible being.
Yeah, like, hey, what's good, my nigga?
alive.
You
You know what I'm
exist.
saying? We did that shit.
That's fire.
And then
That's fire.
remember we was just chilling in the crib, and I was like, yo, bro, let's go get some seafood. Let's go get crab legs. Went there, bro. We sat there for like 3 hours, and and the one thing I respect about him, he didn't like try to blame anybody for it. Like, he wasn't like, it was your mom. He did say, like, you know, I wanted y'all to stay here and like be in the South, but I shouldn't use that. I used that excuse I should have never did that. I should have never been like, okay, cool, she took him to New York, so now I can't have a relationship with him. I should have still reached out, tried to contact you, you know what I mean? Because I still talk to his side of the family all the time. So it was like, So once I did that and I had that conversation with him, it was like literally in that conversation, it was like I could feel like a releasing of just mad built up anger.
Of course.
Like just a lot of like 22, 23 years worth of anger in that conversation. Because I was telling him like, nigga, like I got robbed at gunpoint. I done got jumped. I done had this, that, and the third happen to me. I done got poked. I done got all types of shit. Like, and in the South at that. And I couldn't go to be like, yo, like, mind you, some of this shit was about older niggas. Like, niggas that's like 10, 15 years older than me. Like, and I couldn't be like, yo, I'm gonna get my pops. You know what I'm saying? Like, couldn't do that. You wasn't there for a lot of that shit. So it was like, having that conversation and us just having that dialogue, it was just like, all right, I'm good. I can live life now. So, like, I would say to you, get yourself to that point. And like I told you the other day, when you get to that point and you actually have that conversation, don't hold back nothing. Because I know sometimes, like, when I first went into it, it was nerves because, like, it's my pops. You know what I mean? Like, he brought me into this world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say nothing crazy. But in the middle of the conversation, it was
That nigga
like...
probably watching this shit like, you better not, nigga.
In the middle of that shit, though, bro, real talk, I was just like, fuck that shit. I ain't but to hold my tongue, nigga. I had all these years of holding my tongue. This, that. I'm going to just say how I feel. Yeah. And when I told him that, he was like, damn, like, shit, I ain't, like, he told me how he feel. And once we exchanged that, like, that feeling of just, like, I guess you would say grief, it was like, okay, cool. Granted, the pops role, like I said, the pops died a long time ago. But us just being cordial and just having a relationship that's amicable, we get, like,
you get to build something different.
We just cultivated a whole different relationship. Now we just talk like homies. Yo, you saw that game last night? Yeah, bro, that shit crazy. Like how I talk to y'all, that's how I talk to him. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely do that, bro.
That's fire.
I got a question, Kev. Do you want to speak to your pops?
Damn.
Nah, cause I mean,
Oh, we getting deep.
Nigga, that's it straight up.
nah, I mean, cause now,